Hey, it's Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate and the Online Real Estate Academy. So as I've been warning on this channel, quite obviously, very soon there's some type of impending change relative to buyer side commissions. The rule has been approved by the judge, and it's just a matter of time before implementation, which could be later this year or sometime next year. It's really hard to say on the timing. If you had to guess at the timing, it'd probably be sometime next year at this point, but it's coming. Will it mean anything? Nobody really knows. Could this be a lot of hype and not a lot of actual change? That is possible. However, the risk, the downside, is that buyer side commissions could be eliminated or depleted or minimized. That's the risk. So if you're an agent now, or you're starting to become an agent, you've got to ask yourself, how do I market myself? And I want to talk to you today about one way that you can position yourself in the marketplace that has really no downside to it and also protects you from the whole buyer side commission discussion. And no matter which way that goes, this will still work out for you. Because what I'm talking about is marketing to, one, sellers, and two, people that have a common interest with you, whatever that is. And we're going to talk about a tool, Substack, that you can use to reach out to these folks on a daily basis so that you're marketing, once again, I'm going to say this twice, for sellers that have some type of common interest with you. Let's take a look at Substack. Okay, here we are, Substack.com. Do your best work supported by your subscribers. Substack lets independent writers and podcasters publish directly to their audience and get paid through subscriptions. We're not talking about getting paid through subscriptions for this video, but we are talking about getting seller side leads, maybe a couple of buyer side leads, but specifically seller side leads from people that share an interest with you. You see, Substack is an email collection machine. Let's click Substacks to read. Click that. And let's go to food and drink. We'll click that and continue. Let's just click the first one. What to Cook When I Don't Feel Like Cooking by Charlotte Chambers. Okay, here it is. And I'll move my face over here. What's the first thing it asks for? My email. The first thing it asks for is my email. This thing is an email collecting machine. And it lays it all out for you. It's the interface in the back end, which we're not going to go over today at all. There's plenty of videos out there that show you how to do that. Is very, very, very simple. All the layout. You just have to add the words in the photos and away you go. So I'm going to click on the pot roast recipe because I love a good pot roast. And what's not to like, right? Although that looked like a giant meatball to me, not a pot roast. Anyways, you can see that you can add all these things in if you want, and there's the recipe, and then you can also interject. And so easy to do this is another email collection opportunity. You can put them in whenever you want when you're writing your Substack newsletter. And I really want to stress the word news on this. News is what you want to think about. Let's go to the chalkboard. All right, so Substack Essentials for Real Estate Lead Generation. That's what this slide should be called. Substack Essentials for Real Estate Lead Generation, especially on the sell side. So we want to come up with a topic that meets all of these essentials. First off, it should be some type of geographic limitation. For your town that you live in would be an obvious one, but that's not the only geographic area, but something geographic. Maybe it might only be a section of the town. You know, for instance, if you live in Boston, you live in Mattapan, maybe it's just Mattapan, or something like that. It's got to be some type of geographic area that you yourself would also find yourself being a real estate agent in. Seekonk, Weston, whatever it is. It's got to be some type of geographic definitional area. And remember, that doesn't mean that's the only place that you'll do business, but you got to have some type of base. to start with, geographic location. Dynamic, that means news, and that's why I want to stress that word newsletter. And I want you to be able to come up with content that is going to be something you can write about 4 to 7 times a week. 4 to 7 times a week. So this is going to be something that constantly requires updates. Now, Jack, that's a lot of work. Yeah, creating leads is a lot of work. Remember, this is completely free. It only takes your time. Now, if you have a lot of money and you want to go advertise, well, then that's a different video altogether, but most of you don't, let's be honest. It also has to be something that is going to hold your interest. I would take something that you're already interested in. Something you're already interested in and that you know others are already interested in, right? Because if you just start writing about architecture in Mattapan, and you've never written about, you don't have any interest, you see where that's going to be a dead end. Think of something that you already have a natural, sincere interest in, and that you know others do. And then think of, is there a hole in the marketplace? Are there other people writing about it in this geographic area? And I'm going to say, probably not. Probably not. If you're going to write a blog, a Substack, about fishing the Cape Cod Canal, there might be one other person doing something like that, but probably not on a consistent 4 to 7 times a week basis. All right, so let's just pick up a topic. All right, let's call it birding. Now, I don't go birding, but believe it or not, there's a lot of people that go out in nature and look for birds. This is their hobby. Okay, God bless them. Good for them. Is that going to be geographic enough? No, because the birds are worldwide, right? Birds are worldwide. So you're going to have to pick something that's geographic. Let's say that you pick it for Newburyport. Newburyport birding. Ooh, now you're talking. Is that something that's dynamic, that can change, and you might have something to write about 4 to 7 times a week? Yeah, absolutely, because birds move around, right? Birds move around, and there's always a different bird that flew into town. You could probably write about this 4 to 7 times a week, including aspects of the weather, migration patterns. Oh my God, there's a lot to know about birds, and I don't know a lot about birds, but I know enough that there's a lot to know about birds. It has to be something that you're already interested in, and it has to be something that others are interested in. And I know there are tons of people that are interested in birds. And that has to be somebody, is there anybody else writing this? Is there anybody else writing a blog 4 to 7 times a week about birding in Newburyport? Probably not. So you write your Newburyport bird sighting report for September 15th, and you post it up on Substack. No one's going to read it. You're going to have to syndicate it to Facebook, just like you would read a Boston Globe article on Facebook. You're going to have to put it on Facebook. You're going to have to put it on the Audubon bird forums. All those places that you go to, you're going to have to share this around with your other birding friends. You probably already have 15 or 20 other birding friends. You should put them on the email list. You might have to manually ask them, hey, Sally, can I have your emails? Do you want to get my weekly regular birding update? You might have to collect a couple of emails to start the ball rolling manually so that you can then get people talking about what you're talking about. Word of mouth, exactly. Oh, did you see what Jack wrote about the great blue heron? And you get people's interest, and then people start going to your Substack and start talking about your Substack. You see, the beauty of this Substack, if I haven't explained this perfectly, is when they submit their email address, then every time you write an update, you hit publish, and you can send that update to everyone who subscribed. You can email it out to everyone who subscribed to your Substack. So you're hitting their email box every time you write a post about birds in Newburyport. You should definitely add in some photography, probably on each and every post, and maybe even interviews with well-known birders in the community. Whatever it takes to get this started, so there's eventually going to be kind of like a organic growth to your Substack, where people start signing up that you might not even know. And of course, that's the name of the game. So effectively, what you're doing here is you're using a strategy which is called narrow but deep. Narrow but deep. You're going to be the expert on Newburyport birding. Now, eventually, you're going to get 100 subscribers or 200 subscribers. I don't know what the ceiling is for Newburyport birding. It's probably a couple of hundred at least. And yeah, to be able to reach out to several hundred people couple of times a week to talk about what they are interested in and that you are also interested in. This is gold. Let me tell you folks, that is gold. And then once you develop that trust, it might take 3 months, 6 months. It might take a year. I don't know how long it's going to take, depending upon how much effort you put into this and how interested the top is, a lot of variables. But eventually, somewhere, probably in every single post, you can start writing a sentence, something like, to help support this blog, consider buying or selling real estate with me. Period. Not too pushy, but maybe like down in the second paragraph or the third paragraph, just like a little standalone sentence with a link so that they can email you. Yeah, to support this blog, think about buying or selling real estate with Bob the Birder or whatever your name is. Because the ultimate goal is to be able to ask people on a regular, systematic basis for their business. And if you're writing a real estate blog, that's not going to work because no one cares until they're actually in the marketplace. And then they call their high school friend who they've known forever because, everyone's a real estate agent, right? So you want to get them beforehand when they're interested in something that is nothing to do with real estate. See the magic in that? And if you can find this crossroads where everything comes together, the geographic, the dynamic news factor, your interests, their interest, and some type of hole in the marketplace, you can be a huge winner. Okay, I'm Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate, the Online Real Estate Academy. Have a great day.